With the 2025 Aragon MotoGP series set to begin next week, the atmosphere in the Ducati Lenovo paddock is heating up. Francesco Bagnaia, touted as Ducati's future icon, is mired in a vortex of problems that have left him frustrated and disoriented. With his recent poor results, Bagnaia is now fighting not only against his rivals on the track, but also against internal pressure, public doubt, and the large shadow of his teammate, Marc Marquez. What problems is Francesco Bagnaia facing? Let's discuss. Bagnaia starts the 2025 MotoGP season with an incredibly high burden of expectations on his shoulders. As a two-time world champion, observers and the public agree that he is Ducati's spearhead and the figure relied on to maintain their dominance in the most prestigious motorcycle racing event. However, as time goes by, maintaining that supremacy slowly turns into a nightmare. The first 4 rounds outside Europe brought signs of uncertainty, but many considered them minor distractions before the real Ducati would show its mettle on the European continent. Once the calendar turned to European circuits, however, the lurking problems began to show themselves more sharply. At Jerez, a circuit that had been a gold mine for Pecco in the last 3 seasons, hopes of a revival were dashed. Instead of dominating the race, he failed to deliver the performance expected by the public, the team, and himself. The situation worsened at Le Mans and Silverstone, where he only managed to earn 4 points in 2 rounds, a result clearly below the standards of a world champion. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere began to warm up. The usually confident Ducati team slowly became wary. Yes, there were technical changes to the front of the bike. An updated swing arm length and new geometry were implemented to improve stability, but it was essentially the same bike that had given him 2 world titles. So where did the problem lie? The main problem is not the bike or Marc, but Pecco's attitude. He lost his confidence, said Ciccio Lorenzo, a MotoGP analyst known for his sharp observations. These words were hard to hear, not only for Pecco, but also for anyone who had hoped the world champion could bounce back. In a sport as competitive as MotoGP, losing confidence is more than just a mental issue. It could be the beginning of a bigger collapse. While Pecco Bagnaia continues to struggle with a series of disappointing results, the Marquez siblings, Marc and Alex, have captured the attention of the 2025 MotoGP audience. Alex Marquez made important history by ending his brother Marc's 6-race sprint dominance, achieving his first full victory in the Premier class at the 2025 Spanish MotoGP race. This victory was not just a stroke of luck. Alex showed an extraordinary level of consistency he had never displayed before, establishing himself as a serious contender in the championship standings. According to veteran analyst Ciccio Lorenzo, their extraordinary success stems from their thorough preparation during the preseason. They worked incredibly hard. Alex learned a lot from Marc's experience and encouragement. When Marc didn't win, Alex did. They lifted each other up, pushing each other to reach higher levels, Lorenzo said. If Marc experiences 1 or 2 bad results in the upcoming races, Alex will have a great chance of climbing to the top of the standings. This scenario is predicted to make the fight for the world title even hotter and more unpredictable. MotoGP 2025 is slowly turning into a competition not only between teams and manufacturers but also between brothers, all of whom have great ambitions to make history. Ducati course general manager Gigi Dall'Igna did not remain silent in the face of a challenging weekend. In an open statement released via his official LinkedIn and Instagram accounts, Dall'Igna admitted that the Silverstone race was one of the most difficult weekends Ducati Lenovo faced this season. With 11 different winners in the last 11 editions, Silverstone has once again proven itself to be an unpredictable and challenging track, wrote Dall'Igna, paying tribute to the legendary British circuit. He also praised Marc Marquez's mental toughness. Marquez was able to finish 3rd despite facing various obstacles, including starting from a disadvantageous position and maintaining focus when the race was stopped due to a red flag incident. Marc showed the determination of a veteran, as well as the toughness and spirit of a rookie hungry for victory, Dall'Igna added proudly. However, despite his praise, Dall'Igna issued a stern warning to the entire team. He emphasized that there was no room for scapegoating or hiding behind technical reasons. We have to evaluate everything thoroughly. There are around 20 different data dynamics and situations that we have to analyze in depth, including honestly understanding why Pecco had another negative Sunday, he said. Dall'Igna emphasized that all team members, including technicians and engineers as well as riders, must share a sense of responsibility. There are no excuses. Everyone should feel responsible. We must work more closely together, remain humble, believe in our collective strength, and trust that our hard work will have a positive impact in the end. This is the only way to rise and dominate again, he concluded with full confidence. Amid the drama on the track, the 2026 rider market is heating up, giving rise to interesting speculation that has caught the attention of the MotoGP public. One of the most talked about names in the paddock is Toprack Razgatlioglu, a two-time World SBK champion from Turkey known as one of the most spectacular superbike racers. Toprack previously rejected an offer to move to MotoGP in 2021, but the situation now seems different. Toprack is reportedly determined to move up a class and join Prima Pramac Racing, one of Ducati's satellite teams, for the 2026 season. This potential transfer is said to be one of the most surprising in MotoGP history. Toprack's personal manager, Kenan Sofwoglu, is reportedly engaged in intense negotiations with several major teams, including Honda HRC, Castrol, Yamaha, and Pramac. According to the latest report from Sky Sports Italia, the agreement with Yamaha and Pramac is very close, and the official announcement will probably be made at Mugello. If all goes according to plan, Razgatlioglu will soon join the MotoGP grid as one of the new big stars, bringing the aggressive racing style typical of World SBK to the highest caste of motorcycle racing. In response to the growing rumors, Paolo Pavizio, the managing director of Yamaha Motor Racing, offered a diplomatic response. Our relationship with Toprack remains positive and full of mutual respect. But I think it's too early to talk about the lineup of riders for the 2026 season, he told the media, seemingly trying to quell the rampant speculation in the paddock. Rumors about team expansion in MotoGP are also circulating, not only about riders. Yamaha is reportedly considering adding a new satellite team for the 2026 season, especially if Tech 3 Racing, currently under the KTM banner, decides to withdraw or reduce its participation. This move would be an important strategy for Yamaha to increase the number of YZR M1 bikes on the grid while expanding their development data. Meanwhile, Honda is not sitting idle either. The giant Japanese manufacturer is reportedly eager to add a third team as part of an aggressive effort to accelerate the development of its RC213V, which has recently struggled to compete at the front of the pack. If this plan comes to fruition, Honda will have the power to gather more technical input and speed up the evolution of their bike. This move has the potential to shake up the grid and create a new dynamic within the paddock. If these rumors are true, the 2026 MotoGP season could be one of the most brilliant, dramatic, and surprising in the modern championship's history. The grid will be filled with big names, fresh rivalries, and power struggles between teams. Of course, there will be incredible pressure on every lap and every corner. Fans, racers, and teams will prepare to face a new era full of tension and high adrenaline. Although MotoGP 2025 has not even reached the midpoint of the season, the tension is already approaching that of the final. Pecco Bagnaia needs to find a way to improve, Ducati must quickly solve a troubling technical issue, and Marc and Alex Marquez are increasing their dominance. Meanwhile, the rider market is heating up with big names like Toprack Razgatlioglu. All eyes are now on Aragon. Will Pecco break his negative trend? Or will Marc Marquez once again prove that he is Ducati's new ruler? Who will be the key player in next season's transfer market? Write your opinion below.